Hello and welcome to the Apni Pehchan special episode on our very special AB News channel. This is your host Rukhsar Syed, and today we have a very dynamic personality present with us on our show, Mr. Imthyaz Ahmed. He is a paranormal healer and the founder of Soul Architect. Welcome, Mr. Imthyaz.
Thank you, Rukhsar. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be on this channel with you.
Yeah, indeed, it is a high honor for me too to interview you on the Apni Pehchan talk show. So,
Thank you.
listeners, Mr. Imthyaz uses techniques to heal the mind from traumas, age regression, life regression therapies, spirit and entity release, and clearing phobia and related mind dynamics to design at the soul level. And Mr. Imthyaz also uses techniques of transpersonal, interdimensional, and paranormal healing. He works in clearing spirits, possessions, and negative entities with scientific and professional modalities by working at various levels with the body, mind, and spirit. So I am personally, I'm very excited to know, curiosity and eagerness is filled in me to ask many questions regarding this paranormal healing, because I am very much interested in this topic and this concept. So, Mr. Imthyaz, when it comes to paranormal healing and mind healing, how can you define these terms and how do you use it in your practices?
Okay. See, basically, if I'm to tell about mind healing is more about healing your own self. Okay, which means that as a child or as an adult or somewhere in the past, there is something that we have registered in our mind which has become a trauma, and that trauma is stored as a memory in the body, and identifying that trauma and releasing it energetically. This is very important because every experience, a traumatic experience or a painful experience, was registered in the body and is definitely registered in the body. Without that registration, there is no problem or something that we can face today. So this is what mind healing is about. To make it very simple, mind healing is going and finding that particular trauma which was registered in your body and discharging it. So every emotion has a charge, a positive or a negative, and when it is negatively charged, it stores in the system, and that keeps reminding you for attention at a later time. So that is when we need to go and find it and discharge it. This is basically mind healing.
Okay, so our next question is, what are the reasons for mind health or mind problems in individual? Because nowadays the rates of psychological problems, depression, and many other problems related to mental health and mental peace is increasing day by day. So, what is your opinion on this?
See, basically, as I said, a past event, whatever was there,
Yes,
triggers at some point in this life or this time. For example, let's take an example of the child was beaten by the mother for not drinking milk. Whenever a child was hurt, that registers as a pain in the child. Okay, that pain, whichever was registered, triggers at some point in time as an adult. For example, the adult for some reason goes through a kind of pain which is related to that similar event which happened in the childhood. So that is what we call as trigger. So the subconscious tells that, see, this is the problem that you had that time and it was not good for you. So now it is not good for you. So this is when the adult starts behaving or feeling differently or wrongly.
exactly.
Okay. So, whenever there's a connection to the past event and today, if there is a similarity in that event, that will trigger as an issue and the adult starts behaving differently. So whenever there is a adult that behaves differently, that is when we need to, go to a therapist or get it healed.
Very,
I
yeah,
hope that answers your
yeah.
question.
Yeah. So our next question is, Mr. Imthyaz, what can be done to improve the life situation among individuals with respect to mind health perspective? What is the solution for this?
See, to give it as a solution, I would say that you know it is very important that we acknowledge mind issues as a normal thing. We come from a society where mind has been any mind health issues is taken as a taboo, and that is
Yes,
what is
yes,
to
exactly.
be changed. Okay, it should become normal, and everybody should feel comfortable talking about mind health. uh, Again, it is very important for us to identify that whatever is happening in me is not something different or strange. It is something that can be healed. So whenever you can identify that, then it becomes easier, because until and unless you accept that there is a problem in me and this is a mind issue or a health issue, mind health issue, until then, until you accept it, you cannot go to a therapist or see. Again, let me put it very simple. Uh, Acknowledging is the first healing, because
Correct.
until you acknowledge, and if somebody is keeping avoiding it, saying that this is not possible, people might think differently, people might blame me, they might make fun of me. If i if i have an issue, and if I keep telling myself these things, then things cannot change towards the good. It should be just like how somebody has cold, cough, fever, they go to a doctor. Similarly,
Yes,
they should try and go to a mind therapist. It should become that simple. So, to answer your question, I would say that acknowledging is the first step, and going to a mind therapist should not be a taboo, and the family should support them just like any other medical issue. So, this
exactly.
is very
This,
important.
yeah, this you have
Yeah,
said very rightly and truly, that acknowledging a problem and identifying that we are suffering from this situation and accepting it,
correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
positively, that is the
Yes.
first step towards healing. And I truly believe it, because
Hmm.
today's in today's world, in today's generation, parents are supporting in all other factors like studies, career matter, or any profession if we want to choose. But when it comes to mind health, even parents are a little bit scared that we are not able to understand what has happened to our child, or where should we take, and they get confused. So in this confusion, they end up taking wrong steps towards their child mental health. So this the case is also increasing. Even I have read many articles related to this. So it is very important to acknowledge and take the right step, go to the right person who can help you. So it is truly, and your
Correct.
answer is very, very true, and I really agree with it. So our next question is that what is your advice or your suggestion to those students and youngsters who are not able to choose a perfect career just because they are feeling inferior about because of the peer pressure and what their friends are choosing, which profession they are feeling that they are not fit into that. In those all mindset, they are taking a step backward towards their professional growth and their personal growth. So what is your suggestion that these students should focus on?
Um, See, when it comes to college students, I definitely get a lot of inquiry from kids, especially the high school or the college students. Okay, now it is very surprising or very sad to know that kids are confused. Absolutely, and the main problem is their house. The parents, the elders, the guardians, or the school teachers, the college teachers, or whoever it is, basically to whom they look upon to for guidance, those are the people who block them. This is a very alarming and very sad situation in today's student world, especially in India. And if you will be surprised to see that so many students are so confused and depressed due to their performance in studies, due to their subjects that they have chosen. It has
Exactly.
become a common trend especially in India, that a doctor, engineer, or a software engineer. These are the accepted professions. There's nothing else. And every child or every student wants something to do of his own. There's a lot of things that he wants to do, basically about himself, or for whatever that he wants to pursue in his career. And the parents do not understand or do not support about this at all. And this is definitely wrong. And I would say that this is one of the biggest reasons for the students to be in pain. And this pain they live every day. Trust me, every day they are in pain because of this issue. The big fees are paid, the big colleges they are admitted into a big college. So they feel that guilt, that my parents are doing so much and I'm not able to deliver. So is there something wrong with me? This is what most of the students feel. And, it's very important to understand the child or the student and ask him what is that you want to do and respect it. Don't put your ego, because see, you have been programmed in some ways that being an engineer is good or being a doctor is good, and most of it is money minded. There is no passion, there's no feeling that is considered. For example, and see, naturally everybody is born for a reason. Okay, somebody is born to eat somebody is born to repair something, somebody is born to be technically good at something, somebody is born to sell a car, somebody is born to climb mountains. So, somebody is born to run, he might be a sports person. And we just push them into some box that we have as adults or parents, we have understood that this is the right thing or this is the best thing to do. And we look at the future. Now, I would like to also put it very clear here that you pushing your child into something what they don't want to do might bring them money, but you are taking away their life. They are absolutely disturbed throughout their life till their death. At a very latest point, when they get very old, they say that, oh, I should have done that. I didn't do this. I don't do that. So, they are in a deep trauma and deep pain. And we definitely should, as parents or elders, we should respect the child's thoughts, the feelings, what is their capabilities, what is their capacity. And, I think there's a joke like all the animals are supposed to climb the tree, otherwise you're disqualified. So it just reminds me of that joke. So we should not do that.
That truly relates with the society which we live in.
Exactly. True. Definitely. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, so you said it rightly that parents they have trained their mind in such a way that so and so profession, we have to fit in that standard. We have to fit in that level. Not only money, but according to me, it is also about the status which they have set in their mind, and they want their child to fit into that criteria. And they feel, many of the parents, I will talk about the Indian society as well, the system which exists, that they feel my child should fit into that system. And if they are choosing any other profession except that, it is not of their level and our family will have to suffer. So this mindset will change. And then automatically the child will also live in peace and the parents will be happy by seeing the progress as well. So
exactly, yes.
Yeah, moving on to the last question, Mr. Imthyaz, what is your one piece of advice to our listeners?
I would say acknowledge mind health immediately and respect it. See, whenever somebody comes to you and says that there is something happening to me or something I feel different, I feel strange, I get thoughts, or I experience something abnormal, or I feel somebody is following me, or I feel somebody is watching me, just respect it, whatever it is, because whatever they say is not built up or it's not hallucinating. It is genuine, and there is a reason behind that feeling. So when the patient or a client comes to therapy, we are surprised by the information that we get from these feelings. These feelings can feel awkward to us because we have grown up in a society to think in a certain way, but there is truth to whatever they are feeling. So whenever somebody comes to you with that feeling or observation, respect it and help them and support them to go meet a therapist or find a competitive paranormal therapist. Because see, there are so many different aspects of mind health. There are so many other dimensions. There are so many other regions, I would say, which we have still not got to understand. And those dimensions where where we have come from, basically. Those memories affect our life today. Because see, we have come for a certain reason here, and there is also a task that we have been assigned to finish, or there's an experience that we have to go through, and these past experiences keep triggering or reminding us that this is what you have to go through and this is what you have to do ahead, but we ignore that. And whenever coming back to your question, whenever somebody or something is happening to a person, acknowledge it, respect it, and seek help. Because when that information is decoded, there is a lot of information that we get, which drives or shows us the path ahead.
Correct.
Also, most of the pain that we are going through today as an adult, it can be stress, anxiety, depression, or simple pain in the legs or back or waist or chest or stomach or head, whatever it is. There is a story behind it, and that story wants to be healed. And this is what we need to definitely understand and get it sorted out. And as to answer your question again, it is respect mind health. Whatever it is telling you, get it, watch it, clear it, heal it. So that's what I would like to say.
Thank you so much, Mr. Imthyaz, for sharing such valuable information and insightful information. And I hope this session will be very fruitful and very helpful for our listeners, those who are watching the show. And I would also request to our listeners that contact Mr. Imthyaz, whichever mind health problems you have, or you have to heal your mind, you have to take a right decision. Contact and visit the Soul Architect website, and I hope this session will be helpful to you. Thank